Eriador is diminished. The time of the Eldar is fading, and the deeds of the men of the West are preserved only in their ruins. The shadow of a fear of ages past threatens all the free peoples of Middle-earth. And yet, hope remains. For in the hearts of unlikely folk is the strength to wander through shadow kept. And only thence can they come to the morning. And though the road is long and treacherous and full of peril, it is a road that these companions must travel. And only through strength of loyalty, friendship, and hope can they overcome the obstacles ahead. May the goodwill of elves, men, and all free folk go with them.
With the White defeated, and the bandits finally dealt with, the House of Farrell was safe at last. The company now has the opportunity to take some well-deserved leave from battle and heal their wounds. What must be decided now is how best to apply the wisdom and experience gained in this harrowing journey.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Fear of Ages Past. When last we left off, our company here had just finished a pretty tough battle against not only an undead wight, but also a collection of bandits. The fight was very close. We had some who were under the undead spell for some time. We had some go down, but in the end, some bandits ran away with their tails between their legs, and unfortunately, some of the members of the Farrell house had been, felled. But if it were not for the wonderful skills of our brave Miragar, they might have gone on to meet whatever fate awaits mortals after life. And with that, we will return to our company here. Miragar, you have finished with applying whatever balms, bandages, and salves that you needed to in order to revive all of the members of the Farrell house, as well as Hamfast Willow. What is your next course of action?
I think Miragar turns around with, bandages and balm sticking to his hands and probably all over his body as he was kind of ripping them and whatnot. And he's like, is anybody else hungry? I could really use a snack.
And you see Arnalda, Poppy, and Tola all cradling their husbands, who are currently still unconscious. But you know for a fact that they will live. But all three wives are cradling all three husbands, and just weeping. And you see one. They all look up at you, and almost non-verbally extend their thanks.
Thrush is going to wash the blood, wipe the blood off using his cloak of the sword and sheath it. And he has a very dour black look on his face. And he is going to look over to the women and say, do you have a cart?
With that, Arnalda gets up. She says, yes. Hold on for just 1 second.
Yes.
And
we'll get everyone inside.
She runs back over, and you see just over next to this outbuilding, just over to the side here, there is a cart, and she calls over to you. And she says, "Please, if you'd help, I can't pull this by myself."
Yep, he will go over and he will help.
All right, and you all bring the cart back to the front. I assume you all are you all loading up bodies and figuring out what to do with them?
Larry's probably, he doubts there's anything on them, but he's at least going to search them just to see if anyone maybe had some, I don't know, notes or anything of that nature, and maybe kind of indicating more what their plans might be.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a scan roll.
Oh, I'm absolutely going to fail that.
And while
at my
we're doing
current
that, are
state.
Aranel and Miragar taking everybody back inside that's alive and tending to them and getting food and all of that? I'm assuming get them away from the carnage.
Yeah, probably helps get the husband and the brothers and Hamfast into some sort of bed
Yeah, no.
to, set them up for their recovery.
Yeah, when he went over to get the cart, Thrush had a momentary concern that she was thinking that, oh, we're going to use this cart to move everybody inside. And his intention was like, what? No, we're getting the bodies out of here. What? Why? And he didn't have to explain that to her. He was very grateful because he's in a very foul mood and he wants to pick them up, including the guy's head that he cut off, search the bodies for anything important, and take them out somewhere and just bury them, get them away from these folk.
Okay. So you said you're going to go ahead and scan the bodies as well?
Yep, we're looking through, just checking to see where's my scan.
Okay.
I'm not good at scanning, but
so Larry, as you scan, you kind of do a scan over the bodies, and you as well, Thrush, as you're kind of loading them up into the wagon to try and figure out what to do with them. You scan over the bodies, and it doesn't seem as though they were really carrying much outside of what few weapons they had. You don't see any missives, no notes, nor do you find any treasure on them. It seems as though these were simply lowly bandits who were, at least by their own admission, trying to kill an evil wizard.
Mm-hmm.
And by Oswald's admission, probably also looking to gain control of this farmstead, as it's definitely a little bit better location than would be a condemned watchtower.
Right.
Sure. Well, at least we'll take the weapons, put them off to the side for these people to deal with, to help them defend their place or whatever they're going to do with. And yeah, just work on getting them somewhere else. And Thrush is, miserable hope-wise, but he's still doing pretty well with endurance and whatnot, so he's going to take the brunt of working on this.
Remind me, the white or whatever we killed, did its body just kind of cease to exist, or is there still
Nope. It's actually right over here.
Okay.
I just got it out of the way to get it,
Okay.
out of the way.
Yeah.
And as you look at this body, this wraith, you can see its cheeks are gaunt. There is quite a bit of skin missing, revealing the skeleton underneath. But you can see that whatever clothes it was wearing were a very fine make. Ancient as they were, you can see some of the color still pushes through the fading of the passage of time. There are bright purples and blues, and some of them actually you can see look to be woven with golden thread.
Does it? They're clearly human, right? Not any other race.
You'd guess so. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe an older race of human, but still human. Okay. I'll probably turn to Thrush and be like, do you think we have to do anything specific with that one?
I want to burn it.
Okay. I think that's fair.
You said the garments and everything look pretty rotted and everything is...
Yeah, for the most part. The passage of time has eaten away at its garments. You can tell that they were very fine when they were made.
Okay. Well, he's going to, when we get to the point when we're going to be burying them and he sets up a small pyre to burn this thing, he is going to treat it a little bit reverentially because he doesn't know who it was or what side they were on. But consigning it to the flames will... The reason he's asking whether or not the garments were old is whether or not he thought they would probably go up quickly, hopefully. But he will treat it a little more reverentially than he would them because it may not have had a choice in this, but it may have been a horrible person. He doesn't know. The flame should take care of it regardless.
Mm-hmm. And you can tell that as you're kind of handling this body, you can tell that whoever it was actually a woman. but as you create the pyre, do you go ahead and stack everybody up and light it?
Yeah, I guess he was planning on trying to bury them, but I don't think he has the wherewithal to take that much time to bury all of them. So I think it's going to be a pyre for all of them. But yeah, he's going to
strip the weapons.
Yeah, the weapons are left up here. Salute them with Mindful before he sets it ablaze, and then step back.
Okay. And as you light the pyre, you notice that yes, the flame, or the wraith does, or the white rather, does go up in flames rather quickly. Seems there wasn't really much left of this individual. But you can see as you step back, and the rest of you who are actually back at the homestead can see a faint glow as this pyre lights up the immediate area very brightly. And you can hear the crackling of the fire as the bodies begin to burn and the ashes float up into the sky.
Oh no, Thrush forgot to remove the fireworks.
Oh no.
Oh, well.
And while it is a dour situation and definitely not one to be taken lightly, it does fill you with a sense of goodness knowing that you've sent these people off in what would be a proper way.
Okay, good. Well, he'll return probably very sweaty and ash covered eventually.
All right. And what are the rest of you doing? Just getting food together and everything?
Yeah, I think Aranel would probably take a little bit of a lead with doing the food so that the wives can be with their husbands and kind of
Larry
calm down a little bit.
Larry probably would have helped at least bring the husbands in, even though he's not in the best shape. But
he's a strong lad, though.
It's probably easier work than burning the bodies, though, so he doesn't mind.
Yeah,
right.
Although Aranel is, I think, technically the strongest of all of us because she's got that elven strength.
Probably.
So, and I just picture Aranel cooking. She's just like, humans like salt. They like a lot of salt, right?
No, not all the salt.
I mean, I think
She knows how to cook.
I think you probably have Miragar help you at least.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably mixing tonics and stuff like that to help with healing, and then teas. Probably bringing the ladies' teas.
And you can tell as Miragar, as you bring the wives' tea, they are all eternally grateful. They dab their husbands' foreheads with wet rags, and you can see that Farrell, the younger and elder, as well as Farwell, all are just drenched with sweat as they squirm and wince, just their body trying to adjust to having sustained such wounds. You can tell that Hamfast actually has, being such a strong lad as he is, has awoken and is actually kind of just wandering about the homestead. He comes in and talks to you, Aranel, and says, Milady Elf, is there anything that I might be able to do to help?
Well, I'm not sure what they have for firewood. Perhaps something along those lines to make sure that we can stay warm?
Right, I could do that. And he makes his way out, and as he does, you can see his shoulders are incredibly wide, and he bumps one of the door frames and winces. Oh. And continues to make his way outside of the door, walking through every doorway at an angle so as to not bump his shoulders on the doorways again.
Miragar looks at Aranel and be like, we should find out who his father was, because he's abnormally large.
Fair enough.
Or if we can find out what his mother was eating while she was pregnant with him, we can probably start a side business.
Oh.
Definitely a D1 athlete.
I'm not sure being that large is ideal for everybody. but I'm sure.
Would a hobbit that large just look like a dwarf?
Probably.
Yeah, you could ask. Is it Bungo Baggins? No, it's not Bungo. Which one is the one that invented golf?
Oh crap! I don't remember.
I can't remember.
Was it a Took or was it?
Bullroar Took. That's who it was. Bullroar Took.
Yeah, Bullroar.
Yeah, the biggest of all hobbits. He was like 4 feet tall. So with that,
Took.
What is it?
Bandabros Took, also known as Bullroar.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lopped off a
Battle of
goblin's head and
Greenfields.
knocked it right into a rabbit hole.
Yep.
Winning the battle and inventing the game of golf at the same time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man.
Oh goodness.
Anywho, all right.
Yeah, if nothing else is going to immediately happen, Larry's going to attempt to rest in his horrible, horrible state.
Absolutely. And
You did hold up pretty well for only having one endurance.
I like I said, Miragar and I did a lot more than people at 1 HP would should have been asked to do, but we did it.
It
Somehow.
was necessary.
Yeah, and you all are able to find rest within the House of Farrell. You go to sleep, and at this point, I don't know, is anybody going to try to stay up and keep watch or anything? Or are you all just dog tired?
He is tired, he's exhausted and all that, whatever. He has a wound, but he is going to come back from that whole ordeal. He is going to strip the top. He's stripping his armor off and his top. He's just going to dunk, like Highlander style, his whole head in a buck or like a barrel of water and wake himself back up, clean some of the ash off, put his clothes and his armor back on and go back up and sit and watch. He's miserable already, so he's just gonna keep the miserable going. He doesn't want to inflict it on everyone else.
All right. Yeah, I recovered 3. You recovered 3 hope.
Okay.
Yeah, I need to also recover some hope because she is also miserable.
Okay.
It also brings me to the question of at what point can I trade my shadow for a scar? Because she's at 8 right now. And that's not good.
So let me double check. I believe you can do that at any point.
Okay. Because I know healing them is only on Yule.
You can do that at any time. So over the course of the night, if you kind of look into yourself and try to stuff down whatever it is that this world has set upon you, the burdens that the shadow has thrust upon your shoulders, you can try to stuff it down and repress it and
bury it deep.
Bury it and try to make it a little bit easier to carry. And you reduce your shadow points and you gain a shadow scar.
Nice.
Which means you have 1 permanent shadow point.
Yep.
So during this evening of him watching, can he have gotten the equivalent of a short rest?
Yeah, are you going to be the one watching all night?
Yeah, he's not going to try and wake anyone else. He's going to take a little bit of time at the beginning when he knows people are awake and just give himself a short rest to steel himself for the evening and then go. So if he can do a short rest, I'll hit it.
Aranel would not let that happen. She's the healthiest of everyone. So she would have
what happens.
Tried to force him to go to bed.
How many shadow or how many points do we have? We have enough so I can take 2.
Yeah.
Community
I took 2. Larry took 3. I don't know
if I take 2, and that will leave 2 for Miragar.
Left.
Okay.
And Miragar gets 4 from his 2.
All right.
Yeah.
Right.
Excellent. So
And I recovered only 4 endurance because I am so messed up right now.
Oh, jeez. Miragar is so low. So is Thrush.
Wow. All right. So,
what is hope?
Thrush, you sit atop your perch, and the night is quiet. It seems as though the howling on the northern wind, which you had found previously to bring such dread and fell dreams with it, seems to have quieted.
Good.
You hear almost no noise in the forest down below, and you see no lights in the watchtower beyond. Everything seems still. And at a certain point, giving you your short rest, you do find yourself being almost finally at peace with the surrounding area. Like you've done some good and you feel as though you can finally get some rest. Whether conscious or subconscious, you find yourself nodding off a little bit. But swiftly shake yourself back awake.
Okay. My cat's going to go crazy.
And Aranel, are you planning on forcing him into bed?
Yes, I'm going to force him off the perch. If I can. He is a stubborn old man, but...
Yep.
Stubborn young man.
Stubborn old 20, whatever old man. So he will reluctantly, after she keeps bugging him, go back down inside.
She just notches an arrow and
she
is like...
just going to sit there and be like...
She'll win the staring contest, obviously.
She just notches an arrow and is like, are you going to bed or not?
He'll just give her the slightest smile that he can and descend and go find rest.
All right. And Aranel, you find just the same. As you sat atop your perch, the night is still and quiet. It is windless. The sky overhead is cloudless. You can see every star in the sky, and eventually you see the sky to the west begin to turn a lighter blue, then a purple, and then eventually to a pink, as eventually you see the rays of the sun begin to illuminate the weather hills beyond in a great orange glow. And the day, for what it's worth, is yours. The chickens that are left begin crowing, and everyone finds themselves startled awake by the crowing of cocks.
All right. Aranel will get down off the perch and go to see if anyone's starting on breakfast yet.
And you can actually see that Poppy, Arnalda, and Tola are all three diligently working, trying to get some food together. You see fresh eggs, you see some bacon in there, some cheese, a lot of your standard fare for Eriador. But it smells very good, and what you do notice also, I don't know if you had witnessed this previously, I think you might have, but you notice that Arnalda and Poppy seem to be getting along, strangely enough.
Hooray for trauma bonding.
Yes.
We did good work here, everyone.
Tragedy brings people together in the weirdest ways.
Yeah.
Just almost losing all of the men in your life just makes you realize everything else doesn't really matter, does it?
Yep. And Hamfast sits eagerly at the table. He's got a spoon in one hand and the fork in the other, and he's got a plate sitting in front of him, and he just stares at the three women working over the stove, getting food ready, and you can see the hunger in his eyes is palpable.
Larry's probably gonna tap him on the shoulder and be like, now, I know you're very hungry, but now, please be polite. These ladies have a lot of work to do. They will get to us as soon as they're able.
I'm sorry, I feel like I haven't eaten in ages, and that bacon smells so good.
I understand.
Perhaps I could keep myself a little busy. Do you need help with anything?
I think we're all fine for the moment. I think we're all just waiting for breakfast, same as everyone else.
Well, you can sit here and you can talk to me for a while, I guess.
Oh, well, why not? Why don't you tell me about, well, if you want to, about how you ended up here in the first place?
Well, Gandalf came to town, or at least he introduced himself as Gandalf, and he showed me a few tricks that were pretty cool, and he said that he needed some adventurers, and that I looked like I would be fit for his merry band of adventurers. And then we held up in the watchtower, and he and Breggle started making me dig down underneath the watchtower, probably for that thing that we fought last night.
Yes, well, at the time you had no way of knowing.
I'm real sorry, I am. I didn't mean to hurt no one. I thought we were doing good.
I know. And the fact that you're sorry about it tells me you are a good person.
Well, thank you, Mr. Larry. That means a lot. It really does.
Of course, it's only the truth.
And about this time, you see Arnaldo come over with just a large bowl full of eggs, and they're all, some of them are hard boiled, and you see some of them are, what is it? It's over hard. They don't take too much delicate care of how they prepare their eggs, but they are eggs, and they are tasty. And the rest of you all wake up, and you can smell the food as well. And you can make your way downstairs or inside from wherever you are.
Thrush is his normal self and unceremoniously sits down and starts eating if they've put food out.
All right. And you see Tola brings everybody over a flagon of ale to wash down their breakfast.
Oh, that's good stuff. Got it two-handed.
In between bites, Thrush is just like, he's got his knife in his other hand. He's just going to point over to Miragar and say, "You're getting very good with that shield."
Thanks. These boots are a little itchy and they hurt my feet, but boy, do they make me fast.
I never thought I'd see the day that not even any hobbit, but let alone you, would wear shoes.
Well, I will tell you, I'm going to keep them outside because I took them off last night and whoa. Talk about a bit of a problem there, but
Thrush is literally just going to go. You'd probably make a name for yourself. The only hobbit around, well, those parts, not these parts, but the only hobbit around that wears shoes.
I don't know if that would be a good or a bad thing.
Well,
Miragar, 2 boots.
Yeah,
maybe.
Maybe.
We just start calling you Boots.
I had a cat named Boots. A little bit of an asshole.
Well, that'd be a lesson to you. Don't let the name go to your head.
Pass me a piece of that bacon, would you, Thrush?
Stab a knife into it and just plop it down on his plate.
Honestly,
grab it off the knife.
Larry probably only wants water at this point in his current state, so he might just pass his ale over to Miragar. He'd be like, I think you can use this tomorrow."
No. You know what they say? Alcohol is good for healing, and beer is basically bread. So it is a breakfast food.
I think you needed a bit more than me. I'll just have water today.
All right.
Does Larry look green around the gills, or does he look okay? He doesn't look poisoned or anything, right? As far as Thrush can tell, with his extensive medical knowledge.
I didn't notice any poison in anybody last night. I think everybody's good from that.
I'm not
he grabs his.
Oh, I'm definitely not poisoned. Just exhausted.
Well, we're going to need to go check out that watchtower before we leave this area. Before we head back to Bree,
Well, before we go, and Miragar kind of hops down with his giant mug of ale still probably half full. And he goes, "I'm going to go check on the boys and make sure everybody's fevers are down before we leave."
It's probably a good idea.
Did he leave any food on his plate?
No.
piece
What
of
do you think
bacon
of
that actually
Larry
there.
or Aranel?
Okay. Well, if there's anything else left around, he's not going to be too shy about eating more food.
All right.
Thrush, make a stealth.
And at this point, you see Poppy pulls you aside, Miragar, and says, "Oh, would you mind taking this to the boys?" And she hands you over a platter. It's got 3 plates with all kinds of food on it.
Of course.
Thank you.
For shits and giggles, because he is extremely athletic. He's juggling his full mug and
Oh no.
she gives it to him and he very quickly drops his beer.
Okay.
I feel like because he dang it.
No, it's all right, Miragar. I'll get that cleaned up right away. Did you want another?
Maybe when I get back from dropping this off to the boys.
We'll have some ready for you.
Would you like
And
some help, Miragar?
Nope,
That's
I think I
true.
got it now.
Okay.
all right, and you make your way around, and you can see that Farrell the younger and elder, as well as Farwell, are all 3 awake. You see Farrell the elder is currently laying in his bed, his eyes kind of half open. And as you enter the room, you can enter the room and you see that this room is obviously, being the master bedroom, is the biggest of all. You see that there's actually some quite nice furniture on either side of the room. And the bed actually has curtains around 2 of the sides, which are currently closed and blocking out some of the sunlight, which is coming in through the window. And you can see him there. He is currently sweating. But he is awake. You can see his eyes just kind of shift underneath of his eyelids, and they blink open. He says, there we go, was it? Come.
How are you feeling this morning? I brought some breakfast up from the girls are cooking.
Less dead than yesterday.
That's good.
What have you got there?
Oh, eggs, bacon.
Oh, it seems the girls have been busy.
Daisy Ox, quiet.
Do me a favor, would you, Miragar? Go and tell the boys that I'm proud of them. I can't seem to get out of my bed right now, but I'd go tell them myself. But
That's
thank
so
them
good.
for being there for the stead. And, oh, by the way, you're welcome to stay as long as you like.
I think
Until
we're
you're
gonna
fit
go.
for travel.
I think we might check out the tower to make sure that all of the bandits are no longer living there and to see what they were looking for. But we may take your offer on that for a few days. I'm pretty hurt, and so is Larry. So any long travels might not be a good idea for us.
Suit yourself. Be careful out there.
We will. Well, just eat and get better and rest. And in a few days, you should be up and running around.
Yeah, I'll be better in no time. And you see he reaches forward as if he's like going to try to pat you on the head, but his arm just can't quite reach, and you see he kind of waves it about a little bit and then just kind of gives up and puts it back to his side.
But Miragar kind of like leans in, like, I've gotten this treatment before. And then he'll
Good boy,
maybe
Miragar.
change a bandage or get him, like a damp towel or something like that. Kind of do a little nursing. And then, leave him to his breakfast.
Yeah.
Did you want any ale or anything as well? Have to bring
You
up
see,
the flag
he's
beforehand.
halfway through a strip of bacon with his mouth full. He just says, And
And Miragar will head over to the boys.
and you enter Farrell the Younger's room. And you can see that he is already setting up on the edge of his bed. And he is currently lacing up his boots. And as he bends over, he winces. And he looks up at you.
No need to rush. No need to rush. Just rest.
Oh, no. There's work around here needs doing.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure, for one, the ladies haven't handled all the basic work. And two, if you don't give yourself some rest, you're going to end up not being able to do anything. So,
you know what they say, idle hands are the Dark Lord's playthings.
I don't know who says that,
Oh,
but they're wrong.
Maybe I just thought of it myself. I don't know.
Well, stop thinking about it and eat.
And he takes the plate and sets it down on his lap, and he nods over at you. Just thank you for everything you've done. Clearly, it was a great omen that you came to our farmstead.
Yeah, well, I think whatever happened last night would have happened at some point, and I don't think our actions really helped diffuse the situation, but I am glad that we were all here when it escalated. It did.
Well, regardless, the problem is sorted. That's all that matters.
Well, I'll send up a couple flagons of ale, and why don't you and your brother, if he can walk a little bit, go spend some time with your father. I think having that curtain around that bed is gonna drive him to be a little crazier than normal.
I think you're right. Yeah, I'll eat and I'll see to Farwell and make sure he's doing all right. Thank you again, truly.
Yeah, don't forget to tell them what their father said.
That's why I'm sending them to their father.
You're not gonna relay the message? What?
No.
What kind of a weird little nurse?
Because the guy is still breathing. He can say it himself.
I like it. This is exactly what Thrush would have done too.
That's why he's also getting ale involved, because a little bit of liquor will help him get out those words.
How devious.
Emotional lubricant. Got it.
Exactly.
I'm just glad that we're helping this very broken family come together.
Yay for trauma bonding.
Yeah. First we get their house attacked, and then we fix the family. It's fine.
Yeah.
This seems like some shitty reality TV series now. It's like,
hey, it's a great reality TV series. I'll have you know.
This family's a broken home. Let's see if we can't help them by helping them bond through trauma.
We hired 10 actors to act like bandits and gave them weapons.
Little did they know that their sacrifice would bring this family back together. They just
Several actors were harmed in the making of this video.
What?
Wait.
What?
Wait. What do they? What Thrush just looks over? It's like after he decapitates the guy. Oh.
He had his form filled out for the insurance, right?
Yeah.
No, they canceled that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, you're gonna see all kinds of strikes for the Screen Actors Guild. I mean, this was not a good deal for them.
Oops.
Miragar, is there anything else you'd like to do?
No, I think he just will go down and shoot. The wife of the cool wife, the older sister.
Poppy?
Yeah, I'll tell Poppy. I'll be like, can you bring 3 flagons of ale to your husband and his brother and tell them to go speak with their father? I think the 3 of them need to have a conversation.
I think you might be right. Yes, of course. Anything to bring them back together.
Sadly, sometimes being close to death will open your eyes and open your heart a little bit.
It seems it does. Seems Arnalda and I seem to see, well, eye to eye now. Somehow.
Well,
but let me get on
some
that.
good came of all this. Yes. And is there any? Did Thrush eat all the bacon by chance?
He ate his clean dry.
That damn Dunedain.
Between Hamfast, the Hobbit, and the
If
Ranger of the
you'll allow a little bit longer, I can go and fetch some more out of the larder.
No, that's fine. Maybe I'll get an apple or something and throw it in. But anyway.
Oh no, with his new athletic prowess, I'm done for.
Can't roll first.
Miragar's like, the only reason I shielded you was so I could be the one to hit you.
He's probably mumbling himself last time I keep him conscious for breakfast.
Yeah, at this point, I think Aranel would have recruited Hamfast to help with chores and just like checked with the ladies to see what all needed to be done while the boys are fixing themselves.
Right, and you see he is fast at work. You see he does wince every once in a while if he twists the wrong way, but it doesn't seem that he is too severely hindered by his injuries of the night before. But he is overly eager to help you and to make sure that everything is taken care of on the homestead.
All right.
So, you all have basically you've all been given leave to stay as long as you'd like to, make sure that your wounds are healed if you'd like to, or to do whatever it is that you feel that you need to do at this point.
How do you all feel about resting for 19 days or so before we check out that watch?
Right.
I don't know if waiting for 19 days is smart or not. Maybe.
It's a little long.
I mean, obviously, Miragar and I are quite weak, but if you want to go now, we'll hope for the best.
Miragar, did you do any healing rolls on yourself or?
Yeah, I got all those out of the way.
Oh, that was right. That was right after the watchtower, wasn't it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, because I think I have. So I have 11 days, I think.
Hey.
9 days. 9 days, because I did
have
well on my roll.
19.
Oops.
All right. So, what's the next course of action? Do you plan on sticking around for another couple of days? Do you want to just go straight to the watchtower? What are you thinking? Or do you want to do something entirely different?
Walk straight into Mordor, obviously. Simply walk there.
I think what is the shortest amount that would allow you to get a wound back? Is it you have to wait 19 days to get your wound back?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, you have to wait that many days to not be wounded.
Oof.
I mean, I wouldn't mind risking maybe like another day just to get more endurance. That's the real problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you want to spend the rest of the day just kind of fiddle-faddling around the farmstead and recuperating your health, making sure that you get plenty of food and rest and everything. So if you all wanted to go ahead and take another long rest, you're more than welcome to.
Did one day come off of our wounds for resting or being, it being the next day now already or not?
You have to manually.
Yeah, it's got a manual.
Yeah, you got to manually do
I will
it.
manually
So now we're
switch
down 2 effectively.
All right, so long rest.
I only got another 4 endurance back.
Did I click on it? Did it do anything? Oh, did I not do it? Wait. One night.
I think I
Is
might.
Hamfast any good at hunting
Oh, there we go.
by
Okay.
chance?
Let me see. Ham.
I'm thinking maybe go on a hunting run to help replenish the meat that we're burning through.
Hamfast could definitely try. Basically, what I would say is that if you took Hamfast out, he would more or less fill the role of aiding you.
Gotcha.
And I can help hunt if you need more hunting, but if you're already being helped, then... No, actually, I'm your fellowship focus.
No, you're
You're
not.
my fellowship focus, so I would be able
I'm
to give you
yours.
2 dice.
So I could help you hunt. If you would want to go with instead. Maybe bring Hamfast for
Sure.
the muscle.
We can do that.
To lug deer back, if we can.
So if you help me, that would add 2 onto mine?
Mhm.
All right. So I will do a hunting, and I will add 2 dice. I'm still miserable, but that's okay. That doesn't matter. Yeah, whatever.
Oh no. Hey!
Look at all those ones, though.
Even
At least
so,
you're not weary
That
anymore, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Alright.
All right,
All right.
I've improved from near death to badly injured.
Yes.
There you go.
All right. So what exactly was it that you were hunting for, would you say?
Probably just like deer or
Yeah.
boar or whatever's in the area.
Okay.
I can do a scan roll if you want me to.
No, I'd say that just with that success, let's see. Yeah, with that success, you're easily able to find whatever you need, especially given that if you travel northward for probably just, an hour or two, the plains open up and you can see for seemingly miles. So any prey that you would want to stalk, you would have been able to see it for a long ways. And with that hunting roll, you're able to stay downwind of it, making sure that it doesn't smell you, stay low enough to make sure that it doesn't see you. And you're able to get your quarry, and Hamfast hoists it up upon his shoulders and lugs it back.
Nice.
Not bad for a day's work.
Not at all. It'll maybe make Miragar a little less surly.
Perhaps.
All right.
He's starting to look like me.
All right. Well, if the next day's passed, I'll probably turn to Miragar and be like, "Do you feel good enough to check out this watchtower?"
Yeah, I think so. It's a little sore still, but
I definitely am, but the longer we wait, the worse it'll get. I think.
Very true.
Well, I'll let Thrush and Aranel know that we're ready. We'll just stay behind or something if things go poorly.
So, you all make it back, and then with your quarry, which Farrell the Younger and Farwell begin to skin, if you'll allow them to. Just because you can tell that they've been kind of on bed rest for a little while, and they kind of want to get busy with their hands, and this is something that they feel as though they could do.
Getting a little antsy.
Yeah, getting a little antsy.
Start crazy.
Yeah. When I'm like that, I just play video games. I don't do anything productive.
Well, did anybody bring you a deer to dress? No.
No, nobody brings me dead deer.
Gosh dang
See,
it.
this is why you need a cat. I mean, they won't get you deer, but they will bring you birds.
Well, my dog brought me a dead mole once.
Oh wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, there's that.
Well, did you skin it and make it?
My dog only gives me dead bunnies.
No, I threw it in the trash.
Yeah.
I have no idea how good mole meat is or isn't, so I mean, it might be worth trying. Who knows?
Probably.
Don't think I would want to try that.
Yeah, probably not any good. Probably about like any rodent, I would say. All right, but you all meet up, and then so the next course of action is for you to go back to the watchtower, correct?
Yep.
I suppose.
All right. So you all make any last minute preparations that you need, gather any food that you might need or anything for the journey to the watchtower.
Yeah.
And you set out, and you travel for a number of hours. As you remember, it is a bit of a distance away. And by the time you reach the watchtower, the midday sun is blazing above you. You notice that it is getting warmer in the year. You feel as though any of the cold days of the year, or at least this part of the year, are most likely behind you.
Would you say it's still March at this point, or has it rolled into April?
We could say you're probably getting into April at this point.
All right.
And you can see that the plants are in almost full bloom. There's a bright, fresh green on all of the trees and in the grasses, and the flowers are budding in colorful buds. And you make your way back up to the watchtower with the same thickets and brambles. And you look around and you eventually spy the little fox trail which Oswald had led you up to make it a little bit easier to traverse up to the watchtower. And as you make your way up to the watchtower, I would have everybody give me an awareness roll real quick.
Hey! Let's go, Farrell the Elder, even though it's supposed to be Larry.
Okay.
Jeez.
Okay. So, as you all are approaching the watchtower, you kind of listen out. You look around, you scan around, and you don't really see anything. And then you open your ears, and Aranel and Larry, you actually notice that not only do you not hear anything around in your current surroundings, but it seems as though the watchtower is silent too.
I wonder if they've abandoned it.
Well, that would be ideal for us.
Well,
You make your way in?
I think Aranel would try to stealth in ahead of everybody.
Okay. Go ahead.
Just to make sure.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a stealth roll.
Larry will also try to stealth.
Snaky. With a Gandalf rune.
Okay.
If I wasn't weary, because it was by 1.
Okay.
This is why you leave the stealth to the elf. She's got 1,000,000 dice.
I have the same number of dice as you.
That is true.
Okay, well, I have Gandalf for a simp, so...
Also true. All right.
I missed it by 2, but I got a Gandalf rune, so...
All right, so you all quietly make your way inside. And it seems as though you could hear a pin drop. The wind whistles through the arrow slits upstairs. And just as before, you can see that there is seemingly unused stone masonry, which litters the bottom floor. The stairs that lead up, you can see light coming down from the upper floor as it comes in through the arrow slits and windows. And then just on the other side of the room, you can see a stairwell going down, and a bitter darkness looms about that stairwell.
All right. She will go ahead and light her lantern and motion for everybody else to come in.
All right.
Pull up the rear.
Should we check up the upper levels first, just to make sure no one's lingering?
That would probably be a good idea.
All right.
Oh, maybe they left some fireworks that we can take.
Perhaps.
Okay.
Is it bad? I kind of want them to have just left the fake wizard's body there.
Oh, jeez. Just rotting in the stairwell.
All right. So, you make your way upstairs, and you can see that it seems as though they have moved the wizard's body. It is no longer there, although you do see that there is still just a little bit of a bloodstain that remains on the floor where he fell. But looking around, you can also see that it seems as though this area was tossed perhaps you would surmise that the bandits who fled the battle before probably came back and gathered not only their belongings, but everyone else's belongings as well, and abandoned the watchtower.
I think it's clear.
And there you can also see there are still the stairs which go up to the next level as well, if that's an area that you wanted to search.
I suppose we might as well be thorough.
Okay.
You never know what they would have missed.
Or more importantly, what we might miss.
True.
All right. So, you make your way upstairs, and here you can see light comes in to large, full-size windows, which actually you see looks like slatted doors, which lead out onto a covered balcony. But inside, you can see it looks like this is where Osmer probably stored his wizardly accoutrements, as it were. You look around and you can see jars filled with some sort of colored liquids. You see piles of old books. And I would have anybody who's looking around here probably give me a scan roll as well.
I'll try my best.
And just to be thorough.
Oh, so close, but so far.
If I was, again, by one because I'm weary.
Okay.
Yeah, being weary is not as much fun.
No, it is not.
All right. So I would say, Aranel, you continue peering around. You find it looks like underneath some of these books, you see looks like sigils and runes inscribed in chalk, and you see a little bit of chalk just laying off to the side. You also see underneath this table, you see what looks to be a canvas sack, a large canvas sack, very lumpy, and what looks to be probably some cylindrical instruments inside. And finally, you also see that it looks as though underneath Osmer's bed is hidden a footlocker.
Alright, so she's going to pull out the sack and maybe toss it at Thrush to go through.
Okay.
And then she'll go towards the footlocker and see if she can get it open.
Okay. You do look at the footlocker, and it turns out that there is a keyhole on this footlocker, and it is currently locked.
I don't suppose anyone sees a key.
I didn't immediately see one, but we could look around. Is there a desk or anything around?
You look around, and I mean, there's a few places where a key might be. You see a bookshelf where all of the old books were contained. Not a desk per se, but there's a table that has all of the jars of colored liquids and the chalk sigils and so on and so forth. But if you wanted to give me another scan, well, I would say this. Let me take a look at what you rolled here. Oh, you rolled a 1 and an Eye of Sauron, Aranel.
But it's favored. So
Yeah.
Sauron doesn't count.
Yeah, oh yeah, I know. So yeah, if you wanted to give me another scan roll, you're more than welcome to.
Okay. And she's gonna throw another hope on there just to be thorough.
That's
even though
pretty
she's
good.
got
A
million
Gandalf
lives.
rune. And a
Great.
Gandalf rune. Because, of course.
Oh yeah, I mean easily enough. It really doesn't take really any time at all. You go over to the bed and you lift up the pillow, and you see inside the pillowcase there falls out a brass key, and it tumbles to the floor.
I'm starting to think you and Sevi go to the same hair salon, and she just, you know,
No kidding.
She gives you access to her luck axe.
No, because she does fail quite a bit. Aranel does. Sevi doesn't, really. She fails occasionally, but Aranel's got some elf simpage going on. So.
Alright. So.
Alright. We will open the footlocker.
You open the footlocker, and therein lies what you would guess to be the proceeds from all of Osmerd's banditry, so to speak. This is considered a lesser hoard as you look through and you see different kinds of treasures, all kinds of fine raiments, brooches, chalices, fine silverware. So if you all are going to partake, is that something you want to do?
Yes.
I think so.
Okay. So, let me do this real quick. Wow, this is a big one. Why is it? I don't know why it says that. So this lesser hoard is worth 18 points of treasure, so you can distribute that how you'd like. And then I would have everyone, once you do that, roll me a feat die twice, or you can just roll 2 feat die at the same time.
Okay. I'm fine with just taking 4 treasure for Thrush, and you guys can figure out the rest. Nice. Okay. 2 feat die. 2 feat die.
Oh, we got a couple of Gandalf runes. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Is it 2DF? I think it's 2DF,
yes,
right?
2DF.
All right, so 4, 4, 4, 4, and then we got 2 left over. Who wants the extras?
Oh, no way.
Do we want to give those 2 to Farmstead?
My God.
I think
Yeah.
Aranel would suggest maybe splitting it so that we can give back to the House of Farrell.
I cannot believe I rolled double.
That's incredible. That is incredible.
Oh my God.
We had to offset the 2 Gandalf runes we got.
Apparently, holy crap.
All right, so this is interesting. So we'll go with first. Let's see, Aranel, you rolled a Gandalf rune.
So did Larry.
So I need for you to roll me a DS /R1DS or 1D6. It really doesn't matter.
You know, supposed to prefer hobbits. Why do I get shafted?
Because he's an elf simp. It's fine.
So you, let's see, what do you? As you're rooting around, Aranel, a brooch catches your eye. It looks to be made out of kind of a silver. It's made out of a silver casting, but it's inlaid with pearl. And you see that there are engravings in it which depict looks like a hound, a dog.
Okay.
And you can probably find out more about that should you decide to do a little bit of research. All right. Let's see. I think Larry rolled a Gandalf rune as well. So Larry, go ahead and roll me a D6 if you would. 1. Okay, so you have earned a marvelous artifact. Ooh. So you are looking in this chest and you pull out what looks to be, it's not crudely made. In fact, it's beautiful, but it's a ring. And there are sharp angles to it. You look at it and you slip it on your finger, and you can see that the stone goes from knuckle to knuckle. It's very large, and it almost.
I was half expecting you to tell me I started hearing Sauron.
Oh no! You.
I become a Nazgul instantly.
Anybody else feel a fiery eye upon them?
As you slip this on, it looks as though, as you hold it in your hand, it looks as though it might be too big to fit on your finger. But as you slide it on, it almost seems to contort to fit snugly around your ring finger there. And you look at it; it looks to have some sort of engravings on it, perhaps in Dwarvish.
Huh.
And you can see that it is inlaid with looks to be probably either a garnet or a ruby.
Most interesting.
And let's see. I think Thrush, you got 2 Eyes of Sauron. So go ahead and give
He's
me
getting all the cursed items.
Give me a D6 if you would, please. A 4. Okay. So, you, my friend, have also earned a wondrous item.
I think we're going to be doing a lot of understanding magic items this fellowship phase.
All shall love me in despair.
All right, so as you're combing through this footlocker, you actually come upon what looks to be some sort of a musical instrument, probably a flute, by what you're looking at here. You can see it's very finely crafted, and from what you can tell, it looks to be untarnished, pure silver. Crafting of it is very elegant, and you can see that it was very meticulously made, although it seems unadorned. No runes, no decorative flares or anything like that, but as soon as you blow a note into it, it is the purest of notes that you feel as though you may have ever heard.
Now make a shadow test.
Actually, yes. If you decide to take this, I'm going to need a shadow test from you.
Yep. Is it a...
oh, I'm sorry.
Wisdom?
It is for... yes, wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Wisdom? Okay. All right. I am going to use, if I can, since I'm miserable, I'm going to use a hope point on this.
Okay.
And we can't use a hope point to make it favored unless it's a shadow test, right? Because this is a corruption. Because I think
it would be a
We also
fellowship.
don't have any fellowship points.
Yeah, it'd be a fellowship point, not a
I
wisdom.
can't use a hope point. Okay, well I'll just add a hope point on here and see what I do.
Mm-hmm.
You succeeded.
All right.
Greatly.
Very good.
Oh, I even got a 10 water.
Yeah.
Nice.
As soon as you blow a note into this flute, there's this feeling inside of you that feels as though this needs to go back to where it came from. This is too fine an instrument to be wielded by the hands of men. But then it comes to you that you craft songs yourself, and perhaps this could be put to even better use in bettering the lives of those who dwell in Eredor.
All right. He's just going to hold it up to everyone and then just tilt his head and then slide it into the inside of his coat.
I'd just like to point out, everyone actually got something on this adventure because Miragar got the shoes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you guys rolled really well on a lesser horde, no doubt.
Right.
With the ring of Larry, the boots of Miragar, the brooch of Aranel, and the flutes of summoning Thrush.
All right. And now that everybody has retrieved their treasures from Osmer's footlocker, we are going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Welcome, Tavern goers, and thank you for listening to this Tales from the Dragon's Tavern production. I am JJ, and I just wanted to ask that if you are enjoying our content, that you go subscribe to our Patreon, Tales from the Dragon's Tavern, where we are making it our one-stop shop for all of the content we plan to produce. As we grow and we are able to give you more content, we will probably update our memberships, but for now, it'll be free. And it'll give you access to all our social medias, our Discord channel, and all of those places that you can get our content, but we're going to make sure it's all in one spot for you as well. Cheers, and I hope you enjoy Tales from the Dragon's Tavern.
And we are back, and our company has retrieved their wondrous items, marvelous artifacts, and so on and so forth. And you've all explored the upper floor of the watchtower. And now you do still have the cellar or the lower floor to explore should you wish.
Yeah, Thrush is going to light a torch and just say, do you mind if I take the lead on this?
Be my guest.
I just want to find why she was laid here if we can, and, well...
I understand.
I'm in a little bit better shape than some of you at the moment.
That
He
is
just
fair.
chuckles a little bit at that because he's not in that good a shape. But yeah,
I mean, the health thing here says good shape under Thrush, so I'll take his word at it.
exactly.
Yeah, I think Aranel would go second, so the most injured party members are at the back, just in case.
All right. So
Yeah, make sure he grabs a torch and not a firework.
Oh, by the way, I guess I did forget to tell you that canvas sack that
Oh, yes.
Aranel threw over to you. You can tell as you examine those, these are all Dalish fireworks.
I think we might hand those to one of the two young men in the party who are both, well, not both older than me, but Miragar might have the most fun with them, but Larry might be able to have some entertainment. I don't know, because he's got the young skill to entertain, so maybe we'll have a party when we get back.
Well, Thrush can think about what he plans to do with them on our journey home.
All right. So, you all make your way down to the cellar. And immediately, as you make your way down, you can tell that the stairs stop short. There is several feet of dirt, seemingly, has collected on the floor of this chamber. Those of you who are of average mannish height, or elvish height, rather, you find yourself having to duck underneath to get to be able to walk below the ceiling. And you can see that this area was actually of a much different craftsmanship from the watchtower above. You look around and you can see that there are several, you see the top halves of several pillars which stretch up to meet with archways in the ceiling. And you can see that there are, as you shine your torch around, you can see that there are carvings on the wall, murals, so to speak, of what looks to be probably a chronicling of someone's life. You see pictures or murals of what looks to be a man on horseback riding in formation with many other men. You see a mural of what looks to be a wedding ceremony between a man and a woman. You see what looks to be a mural of two large armies meeting on a hill on the slopes of a mountain. and you can see, finally, you can see the mural of what looks to be a woman just weeping over a grave. And just below this mural of a woman weeping over a grave, you see that there is all kinds of dirt which has been tossed aside. And underneath, you see what looks to be a tomb, a lid, which has been tossed aside.
And I'm assuming that this art style reflects the kind of the art style we saw on the embroidery on her clothing and whatnot.
You are correct, yeah.
Nothing else of interest in there that we need to be worried about? Like there's not another tomb that could contain another being?
Go ahead and give me a scan roll, if you would.
I can give you one. I may not
And probably take a bonus die since Aranel's you got your lamp out, don't you?
Yep, my lantern.
All right.
I think she'll take a look as well. Just on the off chance.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Aranel, as you look around, it's hard to tell what all is underneath all of this dirt. It looks like this is collected over a number of years. However, as you scan around, you see a form of a man laying in the dirt. Fresh, without decay. You see him laying on the other side of the room. And as you peer across, you can see it looks as though that is Oswald. But what's strange to you is that as he lays there, you see he holds a shovel as if he is holding as if he is a warrior holding a sword and he is being given his burial rites. He holds the shovel double-handed and grips it to his chest, and his eyes are closed, and his face communicates one of peace, strangely enough. And as you all see this, I need you to give me a test for corruption, or for dread, rather. Which would be Valor. Yes.
Oof. I'm gonna spend a hope because she's not good at that.
Wow.
Okay, everybody succeeded. Wow.
Look at that.
Extraordinary success.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Ordinarily,
that hope gave me a great success.
Ordinarily, this would strike you as unnerving, odd, almost surreal that somebody might be positioned in this way. But given what you have faced already, it almost makes sense. Aranel, as you kind of scan around even more, you actually find that nearby, just glinting out of the surface of the dirt, kind of up to and surrounding this tomb, you see a faint hint of gold.
She will go pick it up.
Yeah, and as you move aside the dirt, it looks as though this is yet another treasure hoard.
Oh no. Okay.
But this one, you can tell, is of a singular make. It looks as though these are all artifacts of a singular culture, probably Arnorian, as they all sport the same motifs, patterns, and decorations, runes.
Would it be safe to say that this would be like the hoard of the person buried there, or
you would guess so? Yes.
Okay.
Based on everything here, actually, give me a riddle roll really quickly.
She's not great at riddles. Okay. Good enough.
There you go. Good enough. Yeah, you kind of piece it together, and you can tell that based on the murals, the treasure hoard which surrounds the tomb, the construction of the tomb of the mausoleum itself, you'd guess that this tomb belonged to a lady of Arnor, royalty. The murals that you see communicate what look to be the life and relationship of the woman who is laid here, particularly her marriage to some great warrior of Arnor. And based on the murals, you can tell it looks as though she lost her husband in one of the great wars of either the late second or early third age.
Well, this seems to belong to them.
I'm not sure that we should disturb it.
Agreed.
Yeah, there's not much, and it's these really old coins. So,
if it is literally just treasure, if there's nothing else to it, then what we could do is we could take it and put it into her sarcophagus.
Oh, yeah.
Close it back up and then possibly try and cover up this entrance. If there's anything in here that we deem dangerous, though, we might want to deal with that. But it's probably not going to be that big a deal. I just don't want the men coming back and partaking and taking something that could be used for evil.
Yes, I understand.
Can I check to see what Oswald's condition of death was, or like what actually killed him?
Yeah, you can give me a healing roll. Yeah, you look about him, and from what you can tell, it doesn't seem as though he has any wounds. You'd guess that probably the wight who once resided here perhaps scared him to death, for lack of a better term. But there he is, dead and seemingly at peace.
Well, do you think we should leave his body here? Maybe to warn off anybody who tries to come back? Or should we maybe bury his body somewhere else? He looks at peace here.
I think we could probably leave his body where it lies, leave him in here, cover up the entrance when we're done looking to make sure nothing horrendous is going to happen.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Let's just look through this treasure, as it were, make sure there's nothing dangerous here, and if it's all safe, we'll return it to where it belongs.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and treat this just as we treated the last horde. If you don't plan on taking any treasure with you,
yeah,
as far as, monetary treasure, then we won't worry about that. But I will have everybody give me another 2DF.
Okay.
This is where Miragar finds the thing that he wants.
Do you think I can get 2 Gandalf runes this time?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Anything is possible.
All right, let's see what happens.
Hey, Larry got a 3 and a 6.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nope.
All right.
Oh.
As you kind of dig through this dirt and begin to reveal all of this treasure, you find a lot of it is pottery, which depicts different scenes or rituals or what have you. You find a lot of coinage, a lot of jewelry, but it doesn't seem as though anything is of a particularly blessed nature.
Okay. Well, put it all into the sarcophagus in the best, positioning we can.
Okay. And you spend a little while kind of digging out all of the treasure, returning it to where the body of this once great Arnorian lady once laid. And I guess put the lid back on and
yeah, close and use. I guess we'll take the shovel, and we will use
fair.
that to at least try and close up the entrance.
okay.
I think before they do that, Aranel would try to take like one of her more battered cloaks or a blanket or something to just cover Oswald and kind of give him more of a burial under the floor.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. All right. So you successfully perform sort of haphazard burial rites for Oswald and then proceed to seal up the entrance to the cellar of this watchtower. And about this time, you make your way back out to the front of the watchtower, and it is probably mid-afternoon. You'd guess that if you made your way back to the farmstead, you'd get there by nightfall.
All right.
Maybe one more night at the farmstead and
Yes.
maybe
I
share
do-
some of the treasure with our unwitting hosts.
Yes, I would agree with that.
I'm on board.
All right. So, shortly thereafter, you make your way back eastward towards the House of Farrell. You are welcomed back, if I could speak. You're welcome back with open arms and hearty feast, as it were. Hamfast welcomes you back, and you actually see, as you all come back, Hamfast approaches you all. It says, "Were any of them back at the watchtower?"
No, Hamfast. They've all left.
Oh, well, hopefully they get on to doing some better things. At least they're not dead.
Yes, we can only hope that they have learned, although, admittedly, I'm not so sure.
Well, hopefully.
Yes. It's always good to have hope.
I don't mean to be hasty, but I'm wondering when we might be going back to Bree.
We'll take one more night to rest, and then we'll start the journey home.
All right. And with that, you all have your evening meal. Is there anything else that you would like to do while you are here on Farrell's farmstead?
No, and I say we just leave the treasure. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, we're gonna leave 2 treasure for them, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want Aranel to sneak it?
Yeah.
Just, like, do her little elf shuffle
in the chicken coop or something, you know?
Give it to
just
the
under a
women,
chicken.
like give it to the girls instead of the guys if you wanted to.
Yeah,
Leave it in the kitchen.
Just
All
put
right.
it under the sink where they keep their maxi.
Put it in the bread box and just kind
Nice.
of obscure it with the
Yeah,
bread a little bit.
Miragar ate all the bread. So
It's just right. Everywhere you go to look, there's just empty shelves. Like, can't you put the flour?
You're gonna have to leave a note that says this is to cover the cost of Miragar.
And Thrush.
Miragar, Thrush, and Hamfast.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Sorry. One thing Thrush will be doing when we're there is he is just going to be playing that flute, practicing the flute as he sits up on top of that watch for the last night.
All right. And you all can hear the purest of songs coming from Thrush as he sits atop his perch and plays it. Is there any particular tune which you're playing?
Ellie's Fall.
I was going to do Nelly's Fall, but it's a little bit more of a battle song, so he's probably going to be doing the lay of Baron and Luthien.
Okay. Kind of giving that almost a sullen almost a sullen tone, but one of honoring those which have passed. And as you're doing that and you all are kind of getting ready for bed, you can actually see it looks as though Farwell and Hamfast have become friendly. You can see them out next to the fire as you all retire, laughing, joking. You see that Hamfast punches Farwell on the shoulder a bit too hard, but you can tell it's in jest. And you can see that Farwell rubs his shoulder and kind of winces a little bit and then just continues laughing and smiling. But the night comes, the night goes, the morning takes its place, and the day is yours. So you set out for Bree then?
Yep. And Aranel got an extraordinary success at hiding the treasure so that only the women will find it.
Very good. All you got to do is hide it with the uncooked food or with the pots and pans.
Yep.
With the tampons, obviously.
Yeah.
Yes, with the products in the lavatory.
Yeah. Hide it underneath the dirty dishes. All right. So, nobody is able to find it as you are there. You've hidden it so well. But you are confident that given enough time, somebody's going to be in for a real treat.
Mm-hmm.
So, you all set forth back towards Bree. Probably the fastest way to go about it would be to head southward toward the Great East Road and then westward towards Bree.
Sounds good. And we have our 2 horses.
Yes. The old horse and the
new model.
Horse of good breed.
As you kind of make your way down and along the Great East Road, eventually you come across what looks to be kind of like a ramshackle wooden hovel. It seems as though boards are almost falling off. The roof is very patchwork and probably needs to be redone. In fact, it almost seems as though the place is abandoned, save for the bit of music which is coming out from inside. Those of you who've been in this area would recognize this as the Forsaken Inn. And anyone who has stopped in here, I would say, actually, who might have been in this area? I imagine that Thrush
Probably
would
Thrush.
have. So, Thrush, you would know that this is actually a very seedy inn. This is where brigands and bandits go for a drink. And
Okay.
those who are best avoided tend to seek refuge here. The ale isn't even that good. At least rumor has it.
He'll start off with that part when we get close and approach, and he's like, Miragar, before you say anything, the ale isn't good here. And the place is full of cutthroats. If the bandits fled somewhere, they may have fled here. I don't think we need to stop here tonight.
Yeah, it doesn't look very welcoming either.
We'll just make our way
usually
past.
find my way in here and spend a good amount of time reading and not be bothered by anyone, but I'm not a hobbit, and I'm not an elf maiden, so...
Yes,
And I'm not a courteous young man from Bree.
with a nice spear.
Definitely not that.
It's true. You all do have, you are burdened by many more valuable items than you were previously.
All right,
having
we'll
been.
just throw a torch at the inn as we pass by it.
Oh, yeah. Make a shadow test. All right, so you continue along for the next several days. The road curves around the southernmost edge of the Weather Hills as you pass around Amansul or Weathertop. And continuing on, the weather is fair almost the entire time. You do get a sprinkle of rain every now and then, but nothing to soak you to the bone until eventually you come to the gates of Bree.
Huzzah.
And it is here that you can see Hamfast very quickly picks up to a trot as you pass through the gates of Bree. You can see him making his way to the lower hill, back towards where you would guess he probably lives. And before he actually exits, you see he gets a couple of strides ahead of you, and then he stops and turns on a dime. And he says, "You know, I really can't thank you enough for doing what you did.
Well, you have a wonderful mother, even if she's a little overprotective. She does love and care for you very much. And she's the one who petitioned us to go find you. So you can thank her."
I will, and I'll do what I can to do good around here. And you won't see me leaving beyond these walls anytime soon. I can promise you that."
That's good to hear, Hamfast.
Well, just don't go with any strange wizards. I think you'll be fine.
Also true, Miragar.
Are there any wizards that aren't strange?
Well, the real Gandalf.
Well, I mean, they're all a bit.
He's the good one.
They're all a bit queer, you could say, but Gandalf, the real Gandalf, is a good guy.
Well, I'm gonna keep a sharp eye out for anyone who claims to be Gandalf, and I'm gonna need some real proof. Otherwise, I'm just gonna turn the shoulder and walk away.
That's a good plan.
And with that, he trots off down towards the lower hill.
I like how you use the word petition, Larry. As if we had a choice in the matter of going after the boy.
I mean, we could have always left Bree behind us forever and never came back. It's not a good option, but it is technically an option.
I much prefer the option that we took.
I agree as well, although I definitely have more than a few scars after that venture.
Yes, that was.
Who'd have thought that just a group of brigands would be more dangerous than some sort of evil spirits?
Maybe that's the thought that got us in that much danger, was assuming that those we were chasing were not as dangerous as what we've been through before.
I think that's a good lesson to take from this all, Miragar.
Mm-hmm. I've been
Miragar turns to the camera. Now remember, kids.
Miragar breaks the fourth wall.
I've been told more than once that 2 swords is more than twice as dangerous as 1.
I would agree with that sentiment.
Well, I think I'm due for a week's worth of rest, and
I think so.
I'm cooking for a while.
At least.
Only a week? You must want to get back out on the road again.
Well,
I feel like my wounds, if I had to quantify my wounds, I feel like 6 days would be the appropriate amount of time for me to feel 100%.
We'll bow to your professional skills.
Yes. Well, none of you be strangers. We found some very interesting objects on our travels. If we want to study them, by all means, just drop by. My home is a mostly quiet place. Maybe a little more noise with the young girl around, but she's well behaved.
And hand you the bag of fireworks.
Oh, what's that?
Oh, noise.
I see.
Where'd you find those?
They were in the tower. Just he would reach in and grab a handful of whatever they are, and just hold them out to Miragar.
Miragar takes them, put them back.
Now you boys don't get into too much trouble with those.
You can rest assured that I won't get into too much trouble. I have to watch for the young girl. I wouldn't want to set a bad example.
Hey, look, it's Miragar 9 Fingers.
Miragar 9 fingers and only 2 toes.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Totally safe.
This is why he wears shoes, kids.
Yeah.
And thus, we will begin our fellowship phase. So, you all have kind of already decided what it is that you want to do. I know you said that you wanted to do a little bit of research on these items which you have procured.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, you all consult the finest of libraries that Bree has to offer and kind of put your wits together.
Aranel is not impressed with them.
No, Aranel's libraries are so much better, but I just imagine her like in the middle of an aisle with books everywhere, all open to different pages, and just like doing all of the
Hermione
research and
Granger.
cross-referencing.
All right. So, Larry, as you begin researching into the ring that you had found, you find that this is actually of dwarven make, from the dwarves of Belagost, no less. So this is a very, very old ring.
All right.
And from what you can tell, it seemed to have been given the name Azagal's Pride. And it's said to have been worn by Azagal himself during the Nirnaeth Arnoidiad, which is a very, very, very old battle taking place in the early days of Middle-earth. And I'll slide this over to your character sheet.
All right.
And this contains with it a blessing of Inharten.
All right.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh, cool. It's automatically. Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
All right.
Yeah, cool.
Let's see. Aranel,
Yes.
as you begin researching into this brooch which you had found, you find that this is actually an elvish brooch of Beleriand. You look into it, and it seems as though this is depicting some sort of a hound. You look deeper into it, and this is none other than the Hound of Orome. Huon, his name was. The hound which actually bested Sauron himself
Yes.
in the early days of Middle-earth. In the tale of Beren and Luthien, Luthien rode atop Huon to save Beren from the clutches of Morgoth. And I will slide these over to your sheet.
Nice.
This contains with it a blessing of both hunting and awareness.
Ooh.
Nice.
Ooh, that's fancy.
Look at all those extra pips you're going to have now.
Yeah.
I know, these wondrous items are crazy good. All right, and finally, Thrush. This one seems particularly difficult to research, as it seems as though there are almost no records. There's no indicators on this flute of its make. And so you have to go back into the methods of craftsmanship, how different metals were cast, how different instruments were made across different cultures, what instruments were even prevalent across different cultures. And as you read, you find that this is actually a flute of the Silver Lode, crafted by the elves of Lorien in pure silver.
Wow.
And this contains with it a blessing of both awe and song.
Wow.
Nice.
How many things of awe do you have now?
all.
A
He has
couple?
all.
I may have 4 green pips in all, including the 2 I have.
That's impressive.
That is amazing.
That is very impressive.
Beautiful. Wow.
And so, with that, you all had. Was there any other? Were there any other things that you were hoping to research?
I think
I forget.
we
Was that it?
weren't researching anything else. I think we were doing the Strength and Fellowship as our main task.
Yes.
And then was Miragar gonna do his boots, or was he?
Oh yeah, my boots.
Oh
Or
yeah.
you're increasing.
No. What
no,
exactly my boots
the boots.
are?
That's right. We never did find out what the. Oh.
Yeah.
Now
That
we're
was-
gonna find out.
The very first wondrous item that we found.
That's right.
Yeah.
I forgot that was in this same adventure because we were out on the road for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
we
was,
were gone for a
I
while.
was back at the farmstead that was burnt down.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So, as you had found, these boots were cobbled in Eregion by the elves. It's a fine dark leather sewn with a golden thread, and the leather itself is soft and unblemished. It contains a blessing of both athletics and travel. And as you are kind of looking through what you can find, it seems as though there is a legend of a house of great hunters in Eregion. Elvish hunters, no less. And these boots were made for none other than an elf named Laskalan. Okay, and then you said you were going to strengthen your fellowship. Is there any particular way that you were looking to do that?
Maybe we have a birthday party for Skilda.
When is?
I don't know when her birthday is, but you know.
Does she know when her birthday is?
I'm sure she probably would. Her birthday is
April 20th.
yeah, April 20th. No, we're not going to April 21st.
So we celebrate April 20th and then Skilda's birthday.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
mean,
April
Thrush-
20th comes first.
Thrush and Miragar are gonna celebrate it with their pipe. I mean,
Yeah, what's the little town again right outside Bree?
There's Staddle.
Yaddle.
Saddle.
Saddle, yeah.
Staddle, that's right. Yeah, Thrush and Miragar take a trip to Staddle.
Yeah. Well, you find that all the businesses are closed, as it seems as though April 20th is a federal holiday.
It is. It's,
I
Bro,
find
you're
that
telling
son
me-
of a took.
You're telling me
Destroy
that
him.
You're telling me that Miragar and Thrush are Cheech and Chong?
yeah.
Here, Skilda says, Mr. Larry, what's that smell? Smells like a skunk.
That's Thrush and Miragar smoking their special blend for the holiday.
Well, I'm sure that I don't want any part of that.
I'm sure you don't.
Good choice.
The finest pipe weed of the South Farm.
Long bottom leaf, it's okay.
That's the
Yeah.
only way Thrush can feel anything. Is by
Oh, God.
smoking.
I was my
kinda
my
dark,
head
actually.
went to. Do you guys ever see Dewey Cox, the walk
Mhm.
hard story? You don't want none of this, Dewey. You don't want none of this.
None of this. There are no side effects whatsoever. You don't want this.
Oh, goodness. But yeah, just hanging out at Larry's and sleepovers and studying
Yeah, I mean,
parties and...
if Skilda's birthday does happen to be in April, we'll use the fireworks.
Yeah, just...
All right. Very
I,
good.
you know, I Larry's from his merchant family, which I know Kai was going to make a meme about now that I just mentioned it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he might have some pull with the locals town to be able to organize some fireworks display without, needing any permits or anything.
Just find a decent clearing, just outside of town a little bit.
Yeah.
It's spring. Everything's wet. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a bit of a fireworks expert myself now.
I'm a bit of a pyromaniac myself.
So you can make your way to the top of Bree Hill to set these fireworks off, and the display itself is unlike anything you've seen. It's quite dazzling. And you can see on Bree Hill below dozens, if not hundreds, of people gather down below to watch the display. And you see Skilda's eyes light up, and the reflections of the fireworks emblazoned upon her eyes as she watches them go up and explode and sparkle down. And you can see pure joy on her face.
When we have a moment, I whisper to Aranel, it's like, that's what I wanted to happen to the wizard.
While everybody's watching the first couple rounds, Miragar pockets a few fireworks. He's going to be replacing his pots and pans with fireworks. Useful item.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I would say that after that adventure, normally you would have healed 2 points of shadow, but given the celebratory nature and the display and everyone being in such high spirits, I would say you can restore 3 points of shadow if you've got it.
Nice.
No, she's just got a scar.
All right. I'm at -1 shadow.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. And then did you all have any skill points or weapon combat skills you were wanting to increase as well?
We would if we'd gotten our XP.
Oh, yeah, let me do that.
I was trying to be subtle about it so you wouldn't have to edit anything out. But that didn't work out.
There you go. Well, you know
I'm-
how I am with my mind and forgetfulness.
You're what?
Fair enough.
I'm raising Rush's valor, and I'm going to take that. The reward for that will be finding out the last part of what Mysore is all about.
Okay. Thrush, you take some time getting to know your blade. And as you do, you gain the foe slaying property. When you score a piercing blow on a bane creature, the protection roll of the target is ill-favored.
Nice.
If the roll was already ill-favored for any reason, then the piercing blow scores an automatic wound instead.
Wow.
Dang. Okay.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, we just got to find some more orcs.
Let me at him. All right. And what about the rest of you?
Aranel's doing a lot of things. So she is increasing her wisdom from 2 to 3, and with that she now has the virtue of elvish dreams. So basically, as long as she can take a short rest, it's going to count as prolonged rest. So that's cool. Hopefully kick Thrush off of Nightly Watch, because he tends to get hurt a lot. She also increased her bow skill from 3 to 4, so hopefully she never misses again. But there's that. And then as far as skill points, she's going awareness from 2 to 3. She's doing a point in hunting, and then also increasing riddle from 1 to 2.
Nice.
So hopefully her rolls are better now. But
You got a lot done in that adventure. Very nice.
yes, I did. It was great.
All right. So, let's see. Larry, what all have you done?
Still working on it.
Still working on it? Okay. What about Miragar? Have you decided what you're wanting to do?
So I gotta go back and see how messed up my skill points and adventure points might actually be. But for now, I am actually trading out my pots and pans for fireworks for the battle skill, so that I can get. So that if I do get into a situation like I was on the hill, I can use the fireworks to maybe keep advantage or gain advantage in battle.
Okay.
And then I increased my enhearten to 3.
Very nice.
That's pretty much, as I know of right now, all I have the points for. I gotta go through and kind of... I wrote down some of what I used, but I gotta see. I have a feeling I might have a couple extra points.
Yeah.
If it has done that a few times to me, so...
Yeah.
All right. I figured out what I'm doing. I spent adventure points to raise my wisdom, and I took the cultural virtue of the Bree pony. Since we found that fancy new horse, I'm going to say that's the Bree pony, since it is a Bree raised horse and a very high class one. I have to check. Was that horse male or female that we found?
Female.
It was female.
They were both female.
Yeah.
I remember that comment.
Yeah, both horses. So I'll have to come up with a name for her and let you know.
Okay.
I raised my bows from 2 to 3. My remaining adventure points. Then I gave myself a point in awe. I gave myself a point in song and a point in scan.
Very nice. Okay. So,
And
just
remind me, how much hope do we recover for the fellowship phase?
it's equal to your heart rating.
Okay, that's what I thought. Thank you.
All right. And just for anybody who doesn't know, so Bree ponies are very similar to their owners, the Bree folk. They don't seem to have anything special compared to their peers in other parts of Middle-earth. And yet some of them display uncommon courage and exceptional memory. You have acquired an unusually brave and intelligent beast that follows you everywhere. Raise your maximum hope rating by 1. Additionally, your pony has a vigor rating of 4 regardless of your standard of living. Your pony never leaves your side. If you are forced to abandon it, for example, and to enter an underground passage, you can choose to find the pony where you left it when you return, or to have it find its way back to Bree.
Yes. And now my old horse can go to someone else to help with travel.
Yes, you can give it to your family and be like, here.
Very nice.
She's still got some years in her.
All right. So, you spend a number of weeks, months, probably around the time of early June, I would say, with all the researching, improving, all the strength that you've gained, all the wisdom that you've gained, manifesting itself within your being and within your outlook on how you are going to approach the journeys to come. When one day, you all are out and about in Bree. The bright sun shines down on the dry dirt roads as they wind around Bree. People are kind of carrying about their business. You see people carrying wooden crates full of fresh vegetables to and fro, potentially to market to sell or from the market after they had just bought it. John Fernie is guiding a couple of horses down the road back to his home after failing to sell them. You can smell the smells of fresh flowers as they are in full bloom at this point. You hear the sounds of insects in your ears, as well as the mutterings of people as they pass by on the streets. When eventually, as you continue towards the center of town, you begin to hear shouting. Angry shouting.
Heading that way rather quickly.
Yep.
Yeah.
As you approach, you begin to see a large crowd gathered around a singular man. His hair disheveled, tossed about to and fro, windswept. You see a long and wispy mustache with very thin stubble on the bottom. You see as he growls, his teeth protrude around a gag so that he might not be able to talk, but you can see that he is missing teeth as he bites down on the gag. You see his hands are bound, and you can see that he's got a rope around his neck. And the people around him begin to shout, "He should be killed for what he's done." Another one in the crowd shouts, "He's one of them rangers!" Someone else shouts, "Justice!" And in unison, seemingly, the rest of the crowd shouts, "We want justice for what he's done!" And with that, we are going to end tonight's session.
Okay.
Bring it, Moth. You
I mean, I do appreciate it because I need to sleep, but also, dang it.